Krishna, we are going to celebrate that Navadvipa Parikrama. Now, at first we would like to know who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada says, Krishna wanted to understand what is there in Radharani. That understanding is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am going to discuss about that Antardip. Antardip means, Antar means secret and Deep means islands, where Krishna is reveal his appearance that as a Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Antardip is the center of the universe, and Jogapitha is in the center of Antardip. And Jagannath Mishra's house and Sochi Mata's house is center of the Jogapitha. And Jogapith is the meaning of association of meeting place where Lord's associate would like to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this Antardip is non-different from Gokula, and Mayapur is non-different from Mahaban. So that glorious appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that happens on 1486, just from 537 years ago, though he used to tell 500 years ago. Actually, that day was lunar eclipse, and it is called inauspicious day. So all people gathered near the Ganges, and they were chanting, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So all people are chanting, millions of people are chanting. And that time that Gora is appeared. And when Gora is appeared, all demigods come to see him. His effulgence like a shining gold. And people is wondering, who is that? Someone understands. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he appears to relieve the sinful people from Kali Yuga. And some are thinking about his wonderful appearance. It is like, like stunning gold. Then Sochi Mata gave his name Nimai, because his born was under the neem tree. And also Sita Devi, Advaita Prabhu's wife, used to tell Nimai to protect that from ghosts and evil spirits. And that Nimai used to Kirtan and the Srivas Angan. The Srivas Angan is the incarnation of Narad Muni, and he is the Saptavesh avatar. He is a pure devotee. And one night, while that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing and singing, and Srivas Prabhu's son got sick and he passed away. And Srivas Prabhu requested to everyone not to cry, not to disturb that Kirtan. And after that Kirtan, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understands, because he knows everything, that something is happened, some calamities is there. Then he is telling, what happened? Something is there. What happened? Then Srivas Prabhu told about his son's death. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling, why you are not telling earlier? Then quickly he went there, and he went to that boy, and he was calling the soul, and he's telling the boy, why you are leaving your mother's and father's house? Then boy is replying that my past karma is finished, and all has gone. And now that time is over, and I am going to somewhere else according to your direction, my Lord. I am your eternal servant. I must act what you desire. I have no power to do anything that is not your desire. And all the members, those who are sitting there, they emerging, and they got the transcendental knowledge. And that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu farewell, and all Vaishnava cheered, Hari Bol! Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told that, Srivas, you lost your son. but myself and Nityananda is eternal servant, eternal son, and I will not give up your association. That way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became happy. And one pastimes I am telling about that Sare Bhuja Roop of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And it is happened on the Srivas Angan, and he showed this Sare Bhuja Roop to Nityananda. Sare Bhuja Roop means that two hands represent that the Ram with bow and arrow, and through it the Krishna, and that kamandul and the stick is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Ram, Krishna. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna and Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Now our sweet Ratnalekha Mataji is going to say about something.
So on this Antardip is the resident of Advaita Acharya, Advaita Bhavan. So at this very place, Sri Advaita Acharya, he offered prayers to Lord Krishna. He offered Tulsi and he offered Ganga Jal, and he prayed to the Lord. He called out that he summoned Lord Chaitanya to please loudly to summon Lord Gauranga to descend, because he was feeling so much compassion for the fallen conditioned souls of Kali Yuga. And next pastime which is very prominent, which took place on this island, is the meeting of Lord Gauranga and Lord Nityananda. So when Nityananda came to know that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has started his Sankirtan movement, he left Vrindavan and he went to Navadvipa. And when Lord Chaitanya came to know that Lord Nityananda is in Navadvipa at Nandana Acharya's place, he went to meet him. So this description is given here in Navadvipa Mandal Parikrama, and there is a benediction. If anyone hears this description, he will attain pure love of Krishna. So please be attentive. So as soon as when Lord Chaitanya went to meet Lord Nityananda, when they came face to face, as soon as Lord Gauranga saw Lord Nityananda, he recognized Lord Nityananda as the Lord of his life. And as Lord Nityananda saw Lord Gauranga, he became stunned and he became motionless. To reveal the identity of Lord Nityananda's Swarupa, Lord Chaitanya hinted Srivas Pandit to recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. After hearing the verse repeatedly, Lord Nityananda went in great ecstasy. So he roared like a lion, jumping up in high, falling to the ground, rolling on the ground. His whole body was drenched with tears, sometimes laughing loudly and sometimes dancing, sometimes beating on his arms. When Lord Gauranga saw this wonderful ecstasy due to madness of Krishna, he cried loudly. So the ecstasy of Lord Nityananda increased again and again, and he was jumping up and down. All the other Vaishnavas who were with Lord Chaitanya, they were afraid that Lord Nityananda might break his bones. So they prayed, and then at one point, Lord Chaitanya caught hold of Lord Nityananda, and he took Lord Nityananda on his lap. As soon as Lord Nityananda reached the lap of Lord Gauranga, he became quiet and surrendered his life to him. Lord Nityananda was floating in the water of love of Sri Gauranga. He looked exactly like Lakshman, hurt by Shakti weapon from Indrajit, and Lord Gauranga looked exactly like Lord Ramachandra, holding his wounded brother on his lap. After some time, Lord Nityananda regained external consciousness, and all the Vaishnavas shouted, "Hari, Hari, Jai, Jai," flowed from their eyes as they looked at each other. Then Lord Gauranga glorified Lord Nityananda by saying, "Today is the very auspicious day because I have seen Bhakti Yoga in you, which is the essence of all the Vedas. By serving you, one will get Krishna Bhakti. You have come to purify all the 14 planetary system. You are the personification of Krishna Bhakti. So, Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. And whoever listens to this description will become free from material bondage and receive pure Krishna Bhakti. Hari Bol.
Welcome to Selected Week. Out of the 9 lands of the devotional service. It represents hearing. So we invite you to get your ears ready to hear some Krishna Katha. Many wonderful pastimes took place here. Allow me to introduce this island and how it got its name. So once upon a time, Lord Shiva was ecstatically dancing, chanting the name of Gauranga. Can I hear Nityananda! Haribol! So he was dancing ecstatically and his wife Parvati came to him and asked, Mahadev, why is it that you are dancing so ecstatically and chanting this name Gauranga? And he explained that Lord Chaitanya would appear soon. So she came immediately to this place, Simanati, and she started to meditate upon Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu. After a few days, he appeared to Parvati and he asked her, why is it that you are calling for me? And she said, well, soon you will manifest your pastimes here, and I would like to be a part of them and see them. Please give me some service, Mahaprabhu. And he blessed her, saying that, King Navadvipa, you are present as Bhojamaya along with Shikshapala Shiva, and you are the guardians of the Dham. She took the dust of Mahaprabhu's feet and she put it on this manta, this parting in between her hair. That is why I got this name, Smriti. Haribol.
Hari!
Would you like to hear a wonderful pastime which happened in this place, this Shakti land? Yeah.
Haribol!
Haribol. Living in a broken down hut with holes in the roof and drinking water from a cracked iron pot. Holavija Sridhara had the fortune of Mahaprabhu's affection. The Supreme Lord used Holavija Sridhara to show the world the true meaning of wealth. The person who does not have love for Krishna is truly poor, while the person who possesses Krishna Prem is the richest person alive. For instance, the richly absorbed Holavija Sridhara would stay up all night chanting the holy name incessantly. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. He was chanting so loudly. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Although Sridhara was experiencing the highest bliss, the neighbors mistook his loud crying at night, thinking that because he was poor, he was crying out of hunger pain. Sridhara used to make his living by selling banana fruit. Actually, the name Kola means banana and Vecha means seller. He would spend half of whatever little money he earned by worshipping the Mother Ganga with half of his income. Like Yudhishthira, he was a great devotee of truth, and all of Navadvipa knew this, so they would never haggle with him and try to barter the price of the bananas or the leaves. Everyone knew this and generally applied this principle. Everyone except...
I'd like some bananas, please. Little Nimai, this is only half the amount. Please pay the proper price. But why do you charge so much? It's overpriced. I charge a fair price. I think you're trying to cheat us. I know you're hiding your wealth in there. I would never try and cheat anyone. Please, just pay the proper price.
And on it went until... Hi! This drama played out practically every single day.
Honey, I'd like some bananas for a fair price, please. Not again, Nimai. This is only half the amount. Everybody knows that. Please pay the proper price. But it's overcharged. Why are you trying to cheat us? advantage of my lack of experience in the market. Everybody knows here that I charge a fair price. I think you have plenty of experience in the market. You give me more trouble than the grown men. Everybody knows I charge a fair price. They simply pay. They do not haggle with me.
I still think you're trying to cheat us with all this talking. I know you have your wealth in there.
You might. I live in a small hut with a mud floor. Half of the little money that I earn, I spend to worship the Mother Ganga. Everybody knows I am simple, honest, and hard-working, thus they simply pay the proper price.
And on it went until. So it appeared like Nimai was making Sridhar upset. Relished these quarrels more than anything in the world. Just like the elderly gopis of Vrindavan enjoyed the pastimes of naughty little Krishna stealing their butter. Years went by, and Lord Gauranga's pastimes evolved as he started his primary mission of distributing the holy name of Krishna, chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, with all of his associates on Harinam. One evening, the Lord sat on the altar of Shiva's home and revealed his divine form to his devotees for 21 hours, showing them all of the different incarnations of Vishnu, one after another.
Matya Kurmavaraha Nrisimha Vamana Parasuram Rama Balaram Buddha and Kalki are Krishna's 10 avatars. My dear devotees, go and find Kulavitra Sridhar and bring him to me. Oh, Sridhar, you have come. Oh, my Lord, you're so merciful. You have come in this age of Kali. You're freely giving Krishna prem to everyone and anyone, regardless of their sinful nature. Oh, Sridhar, I'm so pleased with you. For years, you've humbly tolerated my playful ways, and even found joy when I was stealing from you. Please accept the 8 mystic powers as a benediction from me. My Lord, I only want to serve your lotus feet. But just ask for a boon. Anything you can imagine, whatever your heart desires. Well, if I must take something, then, my Lord, may that young Brahmin boy who used to steal my bananas be my Lord, lifetime after lifetime. And may that small Brahmin who used to argue with me be my master. May I serve his lotus feet.
Who is capable of recognizing a devotee who may possess all perfections, but we see only as poverty? The seller of banana products, Sritara Pandit, is a living example of this. He disregarded the 8 mystic opulences and just to accept devotional service. However much misery you may see in a devotee's life, we should all know that in fact, they're enjoying the highest divine pleasure in devotional service. This is Mandala.
the New Varshana Temple Sunday School kids to present to you the island of Navadvipa. Please welcome the Krishna Coolies.
Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavrinda.
Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Bolo Krishna Coolies. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
And as Prabhupada always tells us to remind us of our spiritual identity, before we can actually connect to Krishna, we have to know our identity, isn't it? If we don't know who we are, if we don't know our address, do we know where to go home? No. So we will introduce first ourselves to the devotees. We are
the Krishna Coolies, belong to the Lord, part and parcel of the Lord, Shri Krishna. We are not this body, we are spirit souls. We are servants of the Lord. We are servants of the Lord. You're the Krishna Coolies. Our mission is to chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Navadvipa ki jai. Navadvipa ki jai. Navadvipa ki jai.
Raven, please.
The word Godrumagui comprises of following words. Go means cow, Druma tree, and Dweep meaning island. Surabhi cow had performed penances under a banyan tree. Hence the island derives its name from this incident.
Shinis, please.
This island represents the Kirtanam, chanting the holy names of the Lord, aspects of devotional service. This place is also called Gandigacha by the localites.
Jaden, please.
There's a pastime attached to this place. When Lord Krishna instructed all Vrajavasis to worship Govardhan instead of Indra, the king of heaven was enraged. And he sent some Vartaka clouds to destroy the entire village of Gokula.
Kishori, please. Please wait for the mic, Kishori. So everyone can hear the pastime.
Being terrified with such stormy rains and winds, the residents of Vrindavan approached Lord Krishna, who was their only refuge. Lord Krishna, being very affectionate to his devotees, then lifted up the Govardhan hill with the tip of his small finger and asked the residents to stand under the shelter of the hill.
Okay, Anna, please.
This way the Lord held the hill for a week's time and protected all the Vrajavasis. At the end of 1 week, Indra realized that this small boy was in fact the Supreme Personality of Godhead and stopped the heavy downpour.
Okay. So Indra and Surabhika go to Krishna. And Elisha, please.
Indra, along with Surabhika, then approached Lord Krishna in a secluded place and began to offer his prayers and repented for his offense. Surabhika bathed Lord Krishna with her milk, and Indra bathed the Lord with waters of celestial Ganga through the trunk of his carrier elephant.
Is Alok there? Yeah, Alok, please.
Thoughts were given by the Lord. Indra was still repenting at his heart, and he approached Surabhika, offered her the obeisances, and submissively inquired as to how he could atone his offense.
Okay, Ishani, please.
Surabhika advised him to go to Mandala and worship Lord Gauranga, since he is the most merciful incarnation.
Okay, no, it's Soumya. You're supposed to read it, huh?
Both Surabhi and Indra then came to Navadvipa and worshipped Lord Gauranga. The Lord personally appeared before them and blessed them.
Vishari, please.
Indra left back for his abode, while Surabhika continued her worship of Lord Gauranga under the banyan tree. Hence, this island came to known as Navadvipa.
Anna, it's your turn.
At this place, Lord Chaitanya performed several pastimes with cowherd boys. The cowherd boys would very affectionately give Nimai several milk preparations to eat, and the Lord would honor them very happily. He would sometimes even accompany them to herd the cows.
Yeah, Raven, please.
When Lord Gauranga would visit his cowed friends, sing him, the cows and calves would stop grazing and continuously graze at him with great affection, because he was none other than the very soul of Vrindavan, Lord Krishna.
Okay. Madhveshwara.
Again, thank you very much, Krishna Kulis, for sharing with us this beautiful pastime of Godrumadvip. Sorry. Now we'll be singing a song which is a prayer to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karo More.
Bolo.
Your incarnation is just to replace the conditioned fallen soul. But I assure you that you will not find a greater fallen soul than me. Therefore, my prayer is first. My dear Lord Nityananda, you are always joyful and spiritual good. Since you have always appeared very happy, I have come to you because I am most unhappy. If you kindly put your glance over me, then I may also become happy. My dear Advaita Prabhu, husband of Sita, you are so kind. Please be merciful to me. If you are kind to me, naturally Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda will also be kind. O Swarup Damodar, personal secretary of Lord Chaitanya. O six Goswamis, O Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Goswami, Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. O Lokanath Goswami, my beloved spiritual master, Narottama Das also prays for your mercy. O Srinivasa Acharya, successor to the six Goswamis, please be merciful to me. Narottam Das always desires the company of Ramachandra Chandrasekhar. Hare
This is the Majida village.
My dear Lord, why was this island previously called Navadvipa?
Long time ago, the Saptarishis were living here. They were always engaged in discussing the wonderful pastimes of Gauranga. These rishis displayed such great love and devotion that Gaurahari could not control himself anymore and appeared in front of the Saptarishis during midday as brilliant as the midday sun. Hariva! After blessing these 7 rishis, Lord Gaurahari directed them to go to Kumarahata, where they could witness the Nama Sankirtan Leela very soon. These rishis found a suitable spot near Kumarahata on the banks of the river Ganga. They went there and they settled there. This place is called Sapta Rishi Khat, and because the Lord appeared at midday, Madhyana, this place is called Madhya Dweep.
Hariva! Hariva! My dear Lord Nityananda, could you please narrate the pastime of Lord Shiva visiting Naimisharanya to hear Gaura Bhagavata?
Towards the south of Madhya Dweep, there's a river called the Gomati River. And that is where Naimisharanya is situated on the bank. During ancient times, all the rishis, headed by Shaunaka Rishi, gathered there to hear the Gaura Bhagavata. During this time, Lord Shiva also desired to hear the Gaura Katha, but because he was riding on his bull carrier Nandi, he was not able to travel fast enough, and so he requested Lord Brahma to please give him his swan carrier, and so he was able to reach Naimisharanya on time to hear the glorious Gaura Bhagavata.
Such are the glories of Gaura Katha that even Lord Shiva was in hurry to hear his pastime. My dear Lord Nityananda, would you please tell me about this beautiful village we are at?
This beautiful village is called Brahmana Pushkara, and it's now known as Brahmanapura. During Satyuga, there was a Brahmana called Devadas. He started traveling to take darshan of all the holy tirthas. But he was particularly interested in seeing Pushkara Tirtha.
Before reaching Pushkara Tirtha, he had a dream in which someone instructed him to stay at Navadvipa. He stayed there till he was old and he was unable to walk anymore. During this time, he again developed a great desire to have darshan of Pushkara Tirtha.
My dear Lord, if Darsha was so old and he could not walk anymore, how was he able to journey to see the darshan of Pushkara Tirtha?
By seeing his situation, Pushkara Tirtha became merciful and appeared in the form of a brahmana to give darshan to Devadas. He requested Devadas to take bath in the pond in front of him. Once Devadas dipped in the pond, he received transcendental vision and saw Pushkara Tirtha right in front of him.
Jai! How fortunate was this brahmana that Pushkara Tirtha personified came to give him darshan of the holy Dham.
Actually, Pushkara Tirtha resides eternally in Navadvipa Dham. This Dham is filled with all the holy tirthas.
My dear Lord Nityananda, would you please tell me the pastimes of Uchahata, which is non-different from Parikrama or from Mahabharata?
One of the tirthas is the holy site of Uchahata, also known as Hatadanga. This is the place where the demigods used to assemble and loudly chant the names of Gauranga. Ucha means loud and Hata means marketplace. That is the marketplace of the holy name of Gauranga. Hence, this place is called Uchahata.
My dear Lord, would you please tell me about this beautiful place called Panchavani?
Panchaveni means 5 streams. At this place, the 3 streams of the river Ganga, which is the Bhagirathi, Mandakini, and the Alaknanda, along with Yamuna and Saraswati rivers, all join together, desiring to perform service to Lord Gauranga. Here, Gaurahari and his associates take bath, thereby purifying the tirtha from all the sins left by the people in Kali Yuga. In all of the 14 worlds, there is no place which can compare with Panchaveni, which is also a holy pilgrimage spot for the demigods who come on vacation here. The rishis also call this place Mahaprayag, and they perform millions of fire sacrifices along with Lord Brahma. No other tirtha can be compared to the dry riverbed at Mahaprayag.
Shri Shri Navadvipa ki Jai! Shri Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai! Shri Shri Nityananda Rama ki Jai! Jai Gaura Brahmananda!
नाम हट जीवेरो करा श्रद्धा बन जन है श्रद्धा बन जान श्रद्धा बन जन है श्रद्धा बन जान पाती आछे नाम हट जीवेरो करा पाती आछे नाम हट्या जीवेरो कराम नदिया गोत्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पाती आछे नाम हट्या जीवेरो कराम प्रभुरो आगाय भाई मागिए भिक्षा प्रभुरो आगाय भाई मागिए भिक्षा बोल कृष्ण भज कृष्ण कर कृष्ण शिक्षा বলো কৃষ্ণ ভজ কৃষ্ণ কর কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা বলো 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 কৃষ্ণ ভজ কৃষ্ণ কর কৃষ্ণ শিক্ষা নদী আগত তুমি নিত্যানন্দ মহাজন পাতিয়াছে নাম হট্ট জীবের কারণ অপরাধ শূন্য হয়ে লহ কৃষ্ণ নাম অপরাধ শূন্য হয়ে লহ কৃষ্ণ নাম কৃষ্ণ মাতা কৃষ্ণ পিতা কৃষ্ণ ধন প্রাণ কৃষ্ণ মাতা কৃষ্ণ পিতা কৃষ্ণ ধন প্রাণ কৃষ্ণ মাতা কৃষ্ণ পিতা কৃষ্ণ ধন প্রাণ নদিয়া তুমি নিত্যানন্দ মহাজন পাতিয়াছে নাম হট্ট জীবের কারণ কৃষ্ণের সংসার করা ছাড়িও না চার কৃষ্ণের সংসার করা ছাড়িও না চার জীবে দয়া কৃষ্ণ নাম সর্বধর্ম জীবে দয়া কৃষ্ণ নাম সর্বধর্ম নদিয়া তুমি নিত্যানন্দ মহাজন পাতিয়াছে নাম হট্ট জীবের কারণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Nityananda Ram, Jaya Nityananda Ram. Jaya Nityananda Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaura Hari Bol. Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol.
Didn't create, who created?
Srimati Radharani.
For whom?
For Krishna.
For Krishna. Ultimately everything is connected to Krishna, but Navadvipa is special. It was created by Radharani and created as the most beautiful place to attract the attention of Krishna. There's a nice pastime there, which will not go into it. So it's like 100-petaled lotus. And in Navadvip, there are how many? 16 rivers, 7 cities, the holy rivers I mean, and the 12 forests of Vrindavan. Everything is there in Navadvip. And all the incarnations of Krishna, they also reside in Navadvipa. So it is said that Shwetadeep, Golok, Vrindavan, Vaikunt, everything is there in Navadvip Dham. Navadvip Dham ki? Jai. So in this particular island, which is called Koladvip, the Lord also exhibited one of his incarnations. Which incarnation? Which incarnation did Krishna or Chaitanya Mahaprabhu show in this island? Based on that incarnation, this island has got its name. So there's a story. In Satyug, there was a Brahmin called Vasudev. And he was an ardent worshipper of the Supreme Lord. And he used to worship the Varaha deity. Very, very attached. So one day, while he was worshipping, he had this entire intense desire to worship, to have darshan of the Supreme Lord. So he begged the Lord to show him his Varaha form so that his life can become perfect and purified. So based on his petition, the Lord appeared in front of this Brahmana as Lord Varahadev. In his full, he was as big as a mountain, Lord Varaha. And when he appeared, Vasudev Brahman, he almost fainted in ecstasy and he started calling out, Kola, 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 Kola. So Kola is referred to as boar. In Bengali, it is referred to as the boar incarnation. So he referred to him as Kola and he appeared in this island. So this island is called Koladvip. Koladvip ki jai. So that's how this island got its name. There are many pastimes here, but we'll talk about an important one concerning Jayadev. But before that, I also want to mention two places. How many of you have been to Navadvipa actually and done the Parikrama? Hands high? Okay, not many. This is something which must be on our wish list, to do Parikrama. Even if we cannot do during Gaur Purnima, when you go there, you need to spend at least 5 to 6 days to cover all the places with the devotees over there. So there is a very nice place called Mahaprabhu Badi. So it is the place where, in fact, one of the, I think, only places, or very few places, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped alone. And his deity is, unlike, how we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a dancing position, this deity is like this. And this was the personal deity of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's wife, Vishnu Priya. And she worshipped this deity for 80 years, 80. From the time she was 16, Mahaprabhu left and he took sannyas. And she was in this material world, in her material vision until the age of 96. So for 80 years she worshipped this deity. And subsequently this deity is still being worshipped by the descendants. And it is said that there is a wooden sandal with the deity that is kept there. And that is the sandal that was worn by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if you go there, and if you tell the pujari in his ears, and you request him in the Indian way, you know what I mean? Then you will get special darshan of the sandals of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is a special deity there which is still worshipped, and devotees, it is part of the Parikrama path. There's a lot of nice Kirtan over there. And this island has also the samadhi of one of the most important acharyas in our sampradaya, and that is Jagannath Das Babaji. His samadhi is over there. He's the one who's instrumental in confirming Bhakti Vinod Thakur's thought or denomination that this is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You remember that past time, how I think he was 120 years or something like that, and he was in this position. And when he was carried by his servant and he was taken to the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he couldn't even open his eyelids. He was like this, sitting in a basket. And when he went to that place, he was in the basket on top of his servant's head. Now, I know it might be difficult for us to believe, But when he actually went to that place where Mahaprabhu appeared, it said that he jumped out of the basket. And he started dancing with his hands raised and said, Ei to Janmabhumi, Ei to Janmabhumi, Ei to Janmabhumi. A person who couldn't even sit properly started dancing in ecstasy. This is the miracle of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. So that was so there is Samadhi and the Shruti over there. This place also is known as, there is a place in fact in this island called Samudrakar, which is also considered the Dwarka. It's the Dwarka in Krishna Leela. So in this particular island there was a devotee king named Samudra Sen. And he had this desire of having darshan of Krishna as every devotee wants to. And this is at the time when Bhim, along with all his brothers, they went in different directions to establish the rule of Yudhishthira Maharaj. So somehow Bhim came to Gaudadesh with his big army. And Samudra Sen, in principle, did not want to oppose him because he accepted them as nice devotees and Yudhishthira as his king. But he had this thought of having darshan of Krishna. And he said that if I fight with him, and if I am able to somehow control him, defeat him, then I'm sure Bhim will take the help of Krishna. And Krishna will come and appear and try to save him. And in that way, I'll have darshan of the Supreme Lord. And that's what he did. When Bhim came, he opposed. And he said, no, I don't accept your supremacy. You have to fight with me. And then there was this big fight between Bhim and Samudra Sen, both devotees of the Lord. But somehow or the other, with Krishna's mercy, Samudra Sen gained an upper hand and Bhim was about to be defeated. Imagine Bhim. So as soon as he felt like that, he called out for Krishna. And it is said that Krishna appeared there only visible to Samudra Sen. And as soon as Krishna appeared, like Bhishma did, he just dropped his weapon and he was praying. Similarly, Samudra Sen, he had darshan and was praying to the Lord. He almost fainted in ecstasy. And nobody else could see that. And then after Krishna gave darshan, he went away. And Samudra Sen at the end, finally, he submitted and surrendered to him and accepted the supremacy of Yudhishthira. So that's how he, somehow, because of this situation, got the darshan of his Supreme Lord. And there's another place here called Champahati. So Champahati is famous for the Champaka flowers. And this Champaka flowers used to be picked by a very intimate associate of Krishna, Champaka Lata Sati. So she used to pick flowers from this garden over here and arrange for the pastimes of Krishna and Radha and other devotees. So this place later on also had these Champaka flowers, and there used to be a big marketplace where these flowers were sold. So this place was called Champaka Hatta. Hatta means marketplace, like Nama Hatta. So marketplace where the flowers of Champaka are sold. And this place is famous for, I remember one time there was a drama about Jaidev, I think somewhere here or just another place. So the great Vaishnava poet Jaidev with his wife Padmavati used to stay in Champahati. And he was the one who composed the Dasavatar Stotra. And that time the king was Lakshman Sen, and he was so impressed in ecstasy that he... That's my alarm going. I have to stop. I know you give alarm for others, right? So the king, he was very impressed and he invited Jayadev to come to his palace. But Jayadev did not want to be associated with any materialist. So he said, I don't want to go. But the king, he was also obviously a devotee. So he said, fine, you don't have to come to my palace, but I will make a place for you on the other side of Ganga where you can stay. And when you desire, I will come and take your darshan. And Jayadev was very happy. at the mood and attitude of this king, and he agreed to stay there until he got darshan of Krishna. And in his darshan, Krishna told him to go to Nilachal and do his service. So few of these pastimes. So one is Champahati, Samudra Sen, and how this place was given this name of Toladeep. So Toladeep ki jai. Just to conclude, this place is also one of the limbs of devotional service. The 9 islands are the 9 limbs. And which limb is this? Adasevanam. Yes, worshipping the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Navadvipa Parikrama ki jai. Sai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So thank you very much. So we'll all rise and Krishna Krishna Hare Hare.
Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bole Tehna Nayane Bhavanira Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bole Tena Nayane Bhavanira Arka Benita Itade Corona Hoibe Sankara Basa Amara Kabeto Arka Benita Itade Corona Hoibe Arka Benita Itade Corona Hoibe Sankara Basana Maro Kabeto Chahave Arka Benita Itade Corona Hoibe Sankara Basana Mora Kabeto Chahave Gauranga Bolite Habe Pulaka Sharira Hari Hari Bolite Nayane Baba বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে মন, কবে হাবহে জীব শ্রী বৃন্দাবন। বিষয় ছাড়িয়া কবে শুদ্ধ হবে
That looks funny. It's a bomb. Grenade. What is this? It's a grenade. We found a grenade. We found a grenade. We found a grenade. Camera lighting. What the hell?
Get the latest scoop, the latest gossip.
Don't set that video. It's 11 now.
Okay, we'll get going soon, okay?
Okay, I didn't say anything important then, so there's no problem. So, Ritu Dweep, sixth island of Navadvipa Dham. Ritu, a Sanskrit word, means season, of which there are 6 seasons. We have 6 seasons. Here in New Zealand, I don't know, what do we have, 8? Every day? But today, by the mercy of Giriraj, we've got a very beautiful setting. And generally in Shastra we understand there are 6 seasons. So we have spring and summer and autumn and winter. Generally we know that. But then there's 2 others. In English we say dewy season, which is a wet, dewy season. Dew is the dew that comes up from the ground, so it's wet. So it's very moist and wet atmosphere. And when does this come? It's colder, so it's before winter. It's after winter. Someone can nod if I'm on the right track. Is that when dewy season comes? No. When does dewy season come, Prabhu? Okay. So when is the sun? When is it moist and coming up? It's after. It's before. It must be before autumn. I need to do some more research. But there's a dewy season. That's the 5th, and then the monsoon season. Everyone knows the monsoon season. The monsoon season, and that comes just after summer. It's like a release and a relief. Bhagavatam 10th canto describes how description of autumn. Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book is very beautiful. And when the rainy season comes, all the living entities feel refreshed. So there are these 6 seasons, and this part of Navadvipa Dham is called Ritu Dweep because the 6 seasons and the personalities of these seasons are all present eternally in this part of the Dham. Correspondingly, in Vrindavan Dham, the 6 seasons are also present. And it's described that in the region of Vrindavan, particularly the section of Govardhan, where Sri Radhakund and Shyamakund are situated, there are 6 seasons of forests. And during midday pastimes, Radha and Krishna, they enjoy walking through these forests. Similarly, this Ritu Dweep is the place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's midday pastimes. Mahaprabhu's daily pastimes are divided into 8 sections, and the middle section is where he performs Sankirtan with his associates, and he dances and chants the holy names of Krishna through the towns and villages and forests of Navadvipa Dham. And particularly, at the midday, we're now at 11 o'clock, it's coming into that section of the day, then Mahaprabhu performs his Sankirtan pastimes in Ritu Dweep at this time. So this is the meaning behind the name Ritu Dweep. And there are some wonderful pastime choices here. One is that this is the place of the hidden Radhakund and Shyamakund. So we will come to that shortly. And the other is that this is the place of Vidyanagara. Vidya means education. Knowledge, education. Vidyanagara. So the place, Nagara can mean town or city, place of education, Vidyanagara. So that place is here in Ritu Dweep. And this is a very special place because it is the birthplace of one of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's eternal associates, Sri Vasudev Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. He appeared in this island of Ritu Dweep in the year 1460. And he had a younger brother, his name was Vidya Vichaspati. And Sarvabhauma, he established a school here at Vidyanagara. So it became famous for his school. Very interesting, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he studied in Mithila. Mithila is Bihar, not too far away. Back in 14th century and prior also, there was a very famous, well-known throughout all of Bharat, all of India, a university, Mithila University, very ancient place of learning, and all Vedic sciences were taught there. And particularly at that time, the Nyaya system of philosophy, which is one of the sad darshans of the Veda, was well known for being taught in that place, this Mithila University. Now the rule was, if you were to go to this university, you had to stay there for 12 years. You couldn't enroll for longer, shorter. No shorter duration. Srila Prabhupada sometimes mentions that to learn Sanskrit is 12 years. At this university, they had that enrollment policy. I thought it was quite a good enrollment policy. It'd be good to engage it in the Hare Krishna school. It would keep our student population, steady. We could do some good planning around that. So 12 years. So, and also anything that was no books would come out of that place. They had to stay there. So that meant that students would memorize everything. So Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, as a young person, he went there and studied. He memorized everything and brought it back to this place, Vidyanagara, and established his school where he would teach. He is avatar of Brihaspati, the sage, Brahmana teacher of the Devas. So throughout the universe, all of the Devas and Devatas, they come to take part in Mahaprabhu's Leela, because Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagavan. That Sadaishwarya Purna Ya Iha Bhagavan Sa Swayamayam, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagavan. That Sadaishwarya Purna, that person who is described in Yad Brahmopanishadam, in the Upanishads as the original person, that same person is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as described in the invocation shlokas to Chaitanya Charitamrita. So when Mahaprabhu appears, then all of his Shaktis and avatars, they also manifest in his Leela. Just as Swayam Bhagavan Krishna manifests all of the avatars, everything manifests with Krishna when he manifests in Brajadam, performs his Leela. Similarly, following Krishna's advent, when Mahaprabhu appears, all of Krishna's expansions and Shaktis, they all manifest with him. So Brihaspati, he takes birth as Vasudeva Sarvabhauma, and he comes to glorify, to participate in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. He taught in that area prior to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's learning. Mahaprabhu, he then left Navadvipa and went to Puri, and we hear about his pastimes with Mahaprabhu in Puri. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would come to this place because his younger brother Vidya Vichaspati was teaching there. He was also a great scholar and teacher. It describes how Mahaprabhu learnt grammar and alankar, Vyakarana's grammar and alankar, poetic descriptions. He learned all of these things from Gangadas Pandit, and he also came here to Vijayanagara to learn from Vidya Vichaspati. But actually, Mahaprabhu didn't really come there just to learn from him. He came there to argue. He came there to argue with the disciples that were there. Because Navadvipa was a great place of learning. Because of the presence of all of these great scholars, such as Advaita Acharya, such as Vasudeva Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, and others who were bringing knowledge, particularly this science of this system of philosophy, Nyaya, was very prominent at that time. There was a new form of Nyaya that came about at that time during Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's era that, well, it came about slightly earlier by a person called Gangesh, but he taught at this Mithila University. His followers kind of developed it further. There was one person called Raghunath Shiromani, and he was a great scholar of Nyaya, and he had disciples in this area. So they were very much talking this Nyaya philosophy, which is using inference as the main praman for understanding God. And Mahaprabhu would come and defeat them. He'd come and argue with them, and they would be defeated by him. So he would perform these scholarly pastimes of defeating the scholars in this place of Vidyanagara. So it's a very wonderful place. Bhaktivinoda Thakur also describes that Navadvipa Dham in its eternal form is manifest like a beautiful golden lotus. And that at the time of cosmic annihilation, the universe is destroyed, but this Navadvipa Dham, it sustains in this place. And Matsya, at the time of devastation, Matsya comes to save the Vedas. And then he holds on to them until the time of the next creation. He then deposits them at this place, Vidyanagara. This is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's explaining this in Navadvipa Dham Mahatmya. So this place is also understood to be the place of the eternal residence of the Vedas. So it's also known as Vidyanagara for that reason. And from that place, all the great sages come, assimilate Vedic knowledge, and then start their disciplic successions. So that is another reason that Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives for this place being called Vidyanagara, which is here in Ritudvip. Of course, this Vedic knowledge is covered by Maya, by the material energy, and conditioned souls, we don't understand this Vedic knowledge until we come in contact with sadhus, until we come in contact with Vaishnavas, until we come in contact with Krishna and his pure devotees. So material energy, she covers the living entities with ignorance. But in this place, she's present as Prodha Maya, and she performs her act as Yoga Maya of freeing conditioned souls of ignorance. And she actually lifts this cover of ignorance. So here at this place, if we come and we beg for the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we beg for the mercy of the dear devotees of the Lord, then this covering of Maya can be lifted, and our original understanding of our relationship with Krishna can be established. So Prodha Maya, she also resides in this place, and we can also pray to her to free us from this ignorance. Bhakti is composed of two things, Ladini Shakti and Samvit Shakti, knowledge. So this transcendental knowledge purifies the heart, establishes us in love for Krishna. Bhavo jnana tapasa putramat bhavamagataha. Krishna explains in the Gita that after performing tapasya, acquiring the benefits of transcendental knowledge, then this gives life to love for Krishna. So we can pray to Prodha Maya that we become freed from this ignorance and enlivened in Krishna Bhakti. So, according to my watch, I've got 3 minutes. But it's an old watch with a bit of a sore battery, so I might be running a bit close to the timeline. So, when Nityananda Prabhu came here with Shri Jiva Goswami and Shri Vaninath, who is said to be the younger brother of Shri Gadadhar Pandit, they were doing their Parikrama. When Nityananda came to this place, he fainted and fell into ecstasy. He was remembering the Madhyan Leela of Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu is Shri Balaram, and during that time of the day, Krishna's cows go missing by the arrangement of Yogamaya. And Balaram does not want Krishna to be inconvenienced for searching for them. So he says, no, you stay and rest here, Krishna. Look, there's a beautiful mango grove here. You can stay here and refresh yourself, and I'll go search for the cows. Of course, this is all Yogamaya's beautiful arrangement to free up Krishna, because Krishna has other business at this time of the day. So Nityananda Prabhu, remembering these blissful leelas, he fainted in transcendental ecstasy, and the devotees engaged in kirtan. So that is a bit of a point there that I have come to.